My name is Michelle Forcier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us?
Sure.
At what age can a child first begin to transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, oh, that's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When the doctor sees the penis and says, this is a male, has the sex of male, that's an arbitrary distinction?
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not correct.
So what is gender affirmation care? You're a big proponent of. If we walk through, a child is sitting down with you, is questioning their gender. What's the gender affirmation process?
Affirmation means that as a pediatrician, as someone who says my job is to provide the best medical care for you, is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is, tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your gender identity? Where are you right now? And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the reality that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
To that child, they are.
When I see a child who, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say how wonderful my 4-year-old and their imagination is.
Male gametes. That's what makes me male.
No, your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I say that's a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Well,
Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's frame it, because you're trying
to... Chicken has sex like any biological organism.
Chicken has an assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
At what age does the medical transition begin with medication?
So medical affirmation begins when the patient says they're ready for it. So that could be a kiddo who is just starting puberty and panicking because they're getting breast buds or their penis is getting bigger and busier and they're worried about all kinds of masculine changes. And that way, puberty blockers, which are completely reversible and don't have permanent effects, are wonderful because we can put that pause on puberty. Just like if you were listening to music, you put the pause on and we stop the blockers and puberty would go right back to where it was. The next note in the song just delayed that period of time.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders?
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview because it seems like it's going in a particular direction.
Well, you're a medical professional.
I am a medical professional.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids, or?
Again, I'm a physician and I use medication. You're choosing exploitive words. drugs I give to kids.
I'm choosing a
chemical
word
castration.
that was in a dictionary.
That's not a correct term for puberty blocking.
I could like look it up on my phone, but I'm pretty sure if I looked it up, like,
you can look it up on your phone.
it says medical definition: the administration of a drug to bring about a marked reduction in the body's production of androgens and especially testosterone.
And I'm saying, as a pediatrician who takes care of hundreds of these kids, when you use that terminology, you are being malignant and harmful.
I mean, there are some who would say that giving chemical castration drugs to kids is malignant and harmful.
It's about the context of caring for a child and seeing the suffering that kids can have that have not been in affirmative home situations.
So we're going on this journey. Boys can be girls, girls can be boys, men can be women, women can be men. It makes me wonder, what is a woman?
What is a woman? A woman is someone who claims that as their identity. It could be many things to many people.
That was our answer. Well, a woman is anyone. And that was, by the way, not to give any spoilers away, but that is the answer from the left to the question, which is a non-answer. It's the same thing as not answering it at all. But that is the answer. A woman is someone who says they're a woman. And of course, to everyone who gives me that answer in the film, I have the follow-up. Well, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. What are they identifying as? And around we go. Because they don't have an answer to the question. This is a medical doctor who can't tell you what a woman is. I mean, this is someone who if someone goes to her and says, as a man, and says, I'm really a woman and I want to transition into a woman, she will help facilitate that process. And yet she doesn't know what the word means. She doesn't actually know, by her own testimony, when someone says, I want to transition into a woman, she doesn't even know what that means. Like, what are you transitioning into? She has no idea.
All right. Let me see. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Merchaha Kodash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Merchaha Kodash Barakatam. It's the brother Kazak coming back at it again with another lesson. All right. And hey, man, I don't usually, let the whole video play out, but I had to this time. All right. Because everything that was being said here. Okay. This is the state of the world, man. All right. And it's, outraging, to us. You know what I'm saying? But this is, the state of the world. All right. This is what people are pushing out in this day and age, different, segments. You see the guy confound, her philosophy. You know what I'm saying? And this is just completely, evil. What they bringing out with, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is the society that we find ourselves in here in Babylon. This is why we look forward to the new heavens and the new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. And Salakia, for my small little, rant right there. All right. But, to start off the lesson, you know what I'm saying? This woman, she is basically an interview. All right. This video is an interview, with this dude. His name is Matt Walsh. All right. And this woman, she goes by, Michelle Forcier. All right. And I had to, actually look up her name to find the interview. But as you can see, she is somebody that's, in the whole, Planned Parenthood. She does abortions. All right. Things of that nature. And ultimately, man, she pushes forth that confusion, between the nature of people. OK, and we're going to, use those words in case they got algorithms set up to, take the video down if you use, different words. All right. So you see, right there, the topic of, what I'm saying, the nature of people. All right. Was brought up. OK, and this is what a person, who does abortions thinks about the topic, man. That's what she does. And when the dude confounded her on it, You know, when he said, well, a kid, you know, a 5-year-old could think he's Santa Claus. I mean, sorry, not think he's Santa, could believe in Santa Claus. How are you going to take, you know, seriously the thoughts of a kid who believes in fantasies, right? And then she goes and just, you know, puts in more and more confusion. Well, it's his reality. You know, use these different words, all right, to make it okay and make it acceptable that this abomination should continue, man. And the abomination that, you know, I'm speaking of is changing the plumbing, you know. You see, it's bad enough you got adults changing their plumbing, right? And that's, you know, a word I'm going to use, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, counteract the algorithms. All right, but brothers know, you know, the gist of it. All right, bad enough you got adults that's changing up their plumbing. You know, they parade it and it's promoted, you know, and guess what? It's going to the point where now they're going to have kids, you know, children, before they even reach the flower of their age, basically, you know, puberty, all right, to change their plumbing too, you know, and she's trying to justify it. This is the type of world that we live in, man. All right, but this is all, you know, against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's why the Lord is going to destroy this place, okay, with extreme fire, all right, from all the ICBM thermonuclear missiles that hit this place, man. It's going to be destroyed. This is why. All right. And it's crazy how, you know, you have people that's, you know, in the world that's waking up to this, man. You know, like, for example, you got this dude down here, you know, you see his thumbnail, you got the demon and then an arrow pointing at her. You know what I'm saying, in the thumbnail. You know, the world is waking up to Esau's wickedness, man. You know. And who knows, some of these people, you know, that feel this way, they line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. You know, they might be of the 1/3 remnant. You know, who knows, man? But yo, this is why we need redemption. This is why we need to be delivered out of this kingdom. All right, so let's go and hit the scriptures, man. There's so many things, you know, so many angles you could cover on this, you know, but we're just gonna, you know, get right into it. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is risen upon thee. All right, and guess what, man? The light represents this truth, represents this wisdom, okay? Represents the righteousness. Verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. All right, and the confusion that's being spouted off this demon's mouth. I'm not even gonna refer to it as a woman, but it's a full-blown demon, man. You know, hey, this dude was in the spirit when he put this thumbnail out, man. She a full-blown demon. You know, because not only is she in the scene, you know, she's in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Performing, you know, abortions, but she's also pushing out, you know, a confusion when it comes to the nature of people, man. You know, she's pushing it so that she's promoting, you know, so that children could change their plumbing. You know, a child is an empty canvas, basically, for lack of a better term. That's what a child is. All right, they need to be, you know, programmed. I wouldn't say programmed, you know, but they, you know, they grow up and they learn, and that's the role that, you know, the adults have for the children. You know, they teach the children, you know, the elders and whatnot, you know, your parents, right? But what Esau does in this system is he has these kids go to these, you know, schools, all right, and in them schools, you know, he pushes, you know, he pushes, you know, what he wants to push on the children. And guess what? You now have a whole generation of people that think whatever she's saying is okay. All right. Now this is where, you know, the divide comes. You know, of course, you have people that, you know, are against this, you know, and that's going to lead to the, how do I put it to you? You know, that's going to lead to, you know, further, you know, division in the world, and really in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? It's going to lead to Egyptian against Egyptian. All right. Because this basically is what the left teaches. You know, and I suppose this dude, the man who's interviewing her, you know, he's more right wing. if you will. You know, that's, you know, the impressions that I'm getting, you know, watching these different videos and whatnot, you know. But this thing is beyond politics, man. All right, this thing is beyond politics. This truth is beyond politics, man. All right, and we're just watching as the ball keeps rolling, man. Yahweh Shemi Hawashai is about to destroy America, man. All right, this is where, you know, this is the type of world that we live in. You know, she want to try to, you know, rebuttal the man by saying, but it's his truth. You know, this is the child's truth. If the child, you know, believes that it should identify as whatever, it should do that. No, man, that's completely off. You know what I'm saying? Truth is like mathematics. Actually, that's where you get, you know, in the Hebrew, the word truth is amath. And that's where the word mathematics is derived from, because truth, all right, facts, okay, is based on absolute certainties. All right, not to be, you know, get deep into it, you know, but a fact is that 2 + 2 will always equal 4. All right, you get 2 apples and you bring them together with another group of 2 apples. How many apples will you have? 4. Simple math, right? So now let's talk about the situation with the nature of people. If a person is born a certain way, you know, whatever plumbing that they have, all right, guess what? That's who they are. Okay? Because depending on what plumbing that they have, and yes, I have to use these words, okay, in case the algorithm want to mess with the channel. I already got 1 strike. All right. So it depending on what, you know, plumbing that they have, their bodies will naturally produce the hormone needed, the hormone according to the plumbing. Okay, and that is the nature. All right, that's the nature. That's how Yahweh Shemi Hawashai intended it to be. Okay, but here come Esau. All right, the so-called white man, these elites. All right, and everybody who descends from Edom. All right, now I want to say everybody, because, you know, you got Edomites that's, you know, against this, but hey, man, you know, they still wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to, you know, make themselves appear godly and whatnot, but really they not, man. All right, because they're benefiting off the slavery and the destruction of our people, and they have no and the well-being, all right, and the best of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, is not in their minds. Okay, they don't want the best for you tribes, man. All right, but Salakia, continuing on, you know, like I was saying, all right, this is what this devil is pushing forth in his society, you know, and this is ultimately creating a divide that we are witnessing amongst, you know, this nation, man, amongst, I don't want to say this nation, this wicked ass kingdom, or should I say queendom? Okay, because it really caters towards the women, this place, man. You know, it really does. All right. But anyways, let's go on. Let's go to, let me see, the book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 3. All right, now this is the ongoing, you know, precept that I have to, you know, bring up. All right, because it is ultimately, you know, going into what's going on. All right. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, which that's going into how we lost our identity, all right, hundreds of years ago. And even now, you know, there's agendas being put in place to keep us from finding out to who we are. All right. And it was ultimately the will of Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, you know, for us going off. OK, now that's why scripture says, you know, as it is written, and thou, even thou, shalt discontinue from your heritage. All right. Now, this is not a permanent discontinuing. OK, it's, you know, it's just a timeout, if you will. You know, it's a timeout. But guess what? We're being reconciled with Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. All right. So continuing on, and it reads, all right, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. OK, and this man has been revealed, man. The world is waking up. I mean, we've been woken up. You know what I'm saying? Us in this knowledge, we've been, you know what I'm saying? We've been knowing what the deal is. But now you have the people, you know, people in the world waking up, man. You know, a popular YouTuber puts a demon on the thumbnail. And this dude's not even into any you know, anything spiritual for that matter. I mean, in a sense, it is a little spiritual, you know, because they're trying to stand up for what's right to a certain degree, you know. So it is a spiritual war in a sense, You know, but these people in the world, they see what's going on, man. All right. So it's no longer you know, these agendas that Esau's coming out with. All right, they're no longer in the what's it called, in the development stage. You know, now they're out there, you know, in the activation stage. You know, now they going full forward with these agendas. Okay, and the people, you know, they reacting to it. You know, all that's happening is Esau, he basically, you know, recording, you know, who's with the wickedness and who's not. All right. So continuing on, because, you know, of course, you know, when he comes out with that martial law, he's going to have that list of those who are going to comply and bow down and worship the beast. All right. And those who are going to oppose and come against it, you know, which we're the number one people that's against, you know, this devil's new enterprise. All right. His new system. OK, that he's trying to usher in. All right. So continuing on, and it reads. OK, so I'm gonna read the last part again. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. It's talking about this devil who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. You see, that's what he does, man. It's like that's what he does. All right. Or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Right. And that's that position that this devil covets, man. Instead of going by the rules that were laid down by our Heavenly Father, he wants to do away with that and rewrite everything, you know. And that's why this devil's going to go down, man. All right. Remember ye not, Salakia, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. All right. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. Okay. And then shall the wicked be revealed, when Yahweh shall consume the spirit consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even so, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right, because these you know, these operations, that these surgeries that they do are part of the signs and the lying wonders, you know, because he wants to push out his world, his ideology, his philosophy onto the world, man. And part of that is confusing the heck out of people. All right, and basically letting, you know, people know that they could change their plumbing and they could be, you know, something that they weren't born as. You know, and this is ultimately going to, you know, factor into why Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this place, man. All right. It also factors into that, man. That's why the scriptures say, as it is written, you know, the city of confusion is broken down. You know, as it is written in Isaiah chapter 24, the city of confusion is broken down. And why is this place called the city of confusion? All right. Because you just witnessed it, man. You know, you just witnessed it right here. All right. And this is why, you know, this place needs to be destroyed, man. This is why we sigh and we cry. You know, how could we have children in a society where you could send your kid to school, he'll come back saying he's something else? And then you got the people that's in the schools, that's in the system, all right, that's gonna enable them and basically what's the word? It's the word that the dude used, but basically, you know, make a way for the children, you know, to change their plumbing. When here it is, they don't have a grasp on what's real and what's not, you know. But the answer she devised for that don't mean anything, man. All right. If you listen to, you know, when he's told her, I'd love to play it back, you know, but the way the phone is set up, man, I can't hear when the microphone is on, you know. But if you listen when he told her, all right, now this is the video, you know, what is the woman, Dr. Forseer interview, all right, by Yahweh to Hell. That's the channel. I don't know who this person is. All right. But if you listen to, you know, when he asked her that, you know, going into, you know, children not being, you know, able to grasp reality, She gave him one of them answers, with the fancy words and whatnot. But when you really go into what she said, she didn't say anything, man. Oh, it's their own reality based on themselves, and it's like, no, man, because then what you're saying is you trying to change the plumbing of an individual based on their opinion, not based on truth, and it's an opinion that these devils inject into the children. Okay, that's what that is. All right, this is the type of world that we live in. Okay, so let's go into another precept. All right, I have something as well. Let me see. Right. So let me see. Evil, good. Let me see. I just got to look it up, man. I think it's in the book of Proverbs, or if not, Ecclesiastes. Okay, yeah, there it is. Salaki, it's not Ecclesiastes. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and 20. All right, so let me see. All right, so let's go with this. The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. And it reads, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. All right, now the whole tone, of the conversation, especially, the spirit that's coming, from the lady, really the demon that's coming from the lady, her approach to, her responses, as far as her responses go, basically she trying to, condescend and act like she the one that's enlightened, that we are the ones living in the caveman days or whatnot, and basically belittle and downspeak those that do not have. And hold on, let me take this out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this thing, messing up the lesson, but basically, belittle them that don't have the same opinion as her, and I don't want to say just her, I say them, because you have millions and millions of people that believe in this, and a lot of them, guess who is our people, man? Primarily, you so-called you so-called Black, Latina, and Native American women. Y'all the main ones inside the Planned Parenthood, man. Because you living, being as harlots out here, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. Yahweh Shemi Hawashai is going to destroy this place, man. So from here, I'm going to go to, I was thinking about going to another precept, but I'm going over here. Book of Ezekiel. No, Salaki, it's not the book of Ezekiel chapter 35. Let me see. No, Salaki, it's not that one. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 13. All right. Because this is ultimately going to be the end of this wicked ass kingdom, man. All right. The book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. And it reads, I will stir up the Medes against them. All right. Now the Medes is talking about the modern day Russians in prophecy. All right. It's not talking about the ancient kingdom of the Medes. All right. That ancient civilization that was hand in hand with the Persian Empire. No, this is talking about future tense. And the Medes here represent the modern day Russians. All right. And these are the dark sayings that are found inside the scriptures, man. Okay. Certain words don't mean, what they literally mean. It's a parabolic, or it's a similitude or a nickname for something else. All right. That's why, people, what I'm saying, till this day, the world, they don't have an understanding of the scriptures, man. All right, but continuing on in the reads, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Why? Because they got their own, financial currencies going on, and they trying to undermine the U.S. dollar. All right, so they don't care about these sanctions and different, economical moves that's brought upon them by, the Western civilizations, the Western countries, okay? Because they got their own thing going on with the BRIC nations. All right, so continuing on, and it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. All right, and the reason why is because we talking about, you know, the bows. This is talking about the ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. And when them things is launched, they not, man, a bomb is not going to, you know, have feelings for, you know, men, women, and children, man. You know, it's not going to have feelings, man. You know, of course, naturally, you know, but that's what this is going into. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldee's excellency is a key point, shall be as when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. And that's what, how do I put it to you? That's what's going to happen. Okay. That's what this place is likened unto, Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. And furthermore, let's get into that. The book of Revelations, chapter 12, chapter 11, verse 8. All right. And it says, and their dead bodies. And who's the dead bodies here talking about? Talking about the two witnesses, man, which the two witnesses represent the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, but the elect of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. That's who the two witnesses represent, the elect, all right, of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Slack it for my repetition. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right, so there you have it, man. This great city that we in, right, which, you know, it's great because of the power that, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing great about this place, really. You know, this place is our hell. All right, but the great city is basically talking about America, and it's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right, where it says where also our Lord was crucified, because Yahweh Shai, his image was X'd out over here. This is one of the number one places that pushes that Caesarea Borgia. Okay, as you see right there, spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Why is it called Sodom? Because of all the freakism, man. This is freakism. All right, when you enable children who don't even have a grasp of reality, you know, to change the plumbing based on an opinion that they themselves are putting on the children. All right, it's like a dogma that they themselves is putting on the children. Okay, that's when it becomes freakism, man. All right, now you have children that don't know, that think Santa Claus is real, right? That still believe in fantasies and fairy tales, switching up their plumbing, man. You know. And then they talked about, oh yeah, that's another part too. Then they talked about the drugs that block the hormones, you know. And the guy actually said, you know, these same drugs are given to, you know, sexual offenders, man, and y'all giving them to children. So what's up with that? You know, you see how the woman, you know, she got very, very defensive when it came to that, because they're messing with nature. Okay, they're messing with the way Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai created people to be, you know. And that's the delusion of these devils, man, that they think that they could be as the Most High, as it is written in Isaiah chapter 14. As a matter of fact, let's bring that out, all right, to wrap up the lesson, man. All right, well, yeah, literally right the next chapter, you know. The book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 13, and it reads, for thou hast said in thine heart. All right, now this is going into what Esau believes inwardly, man. All right, and this is why, you know, this devil's not going to win, man. All right, because in these same, you know, in the same book, all right, it talks about his nature. It talks about his inward thoughts. That's why the scripture says, you know, these words, you know, cut deep down to the soul, you know. So continuing on, and it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And that's what these devils think inwardly, you know, and it's really because of that hatred that they have for the Heavenly Father and us, you know, primarily, you know, that's what it is. They hatred towards us and the Heavenly Father, man. You know, that he wants to, oh, well, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to be the Most High, right? Oh, it's written that, you know, men are men and women are women. Well, guess what? I'm going to introduce all these different, you know, identifiers. I'm going to use that word, you know, and just confuse the hell out of people, right? I'm going to push that, you know, onto the children, right? And if little children want to switch their plumbing, I'm going to let them switch their plumbing, you know? This is the spirit that this devil has against what is right. You know what I'm saying? But for that, he's going to be destroyed. All right. So verse 14, and it reads, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right. But what's going to happen instead? Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. That's what's going to happen to these devils, man. All right. And Salakia, man, you know, these things, you know, they really piss me off, you know, because ultimately, man, hey, man, it's just in my nature. You know, I'm not going to be, you know, happy and complacent in a world where stuff like this happens. You know, it's just out of principle. All right. So Salakia, man, you know, but that's the ultimate end of this devil. All right. Now, with that, I'm going to finish up with the book of 2 Peter's chapter 3, verse 13. All right. And it reads, nevertheless, we, and who's we talking about? Us in this knowledge, man. Us in this truth. Lord willing, we're of the elect. It says, we, according to his promise. And what's the promise? All right. New Jerusalem coming down. Us being put back into our lands. All right. Where we're going to be on top. Where we're going to rule in righteousness. Ain't going to be no, you know what I'm saying, transformers walking down the streets of Jerusalem. Or should I say New Jerusalem? All right. Because you probably got that now in this day and age with them 1948ers in our land, man. You know. It says, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's what we desire. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about it like that, you know, it's deeper than just Isaiah 4:1. It's deeper than just having multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than, you know, the riches and whatnot. You know, that's cool. You know what I mean? But, hey, man, we want to live in a world where it's righteousness. You know, and I say live because right now we're not living. You know, and we put a lot of things aside. We sacrificed a lot for this truth, not to toot our horn, you know, not to toot my horn. You know what I'm saying? But in the kingdom, that's when we're going to be actually enjoying life. That's when we're going to be doing what we want to do. And we're going to do so in a righteous world, in a perfect world. You know, of course, you know, you're going to have the heathens, you know, every now and occasions, you know, they're going to be going off. They're going to be getting judged. Right, because they're not going to have the new bodies, but we're going to be in control of what's right and what's not right. Well, really, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, which he was never out of control to begin with. You know, he just put these devils over us as punishment. All right, but hey, this, you know, this is why we need deliverance, man. All right, that's going to be the lesson. That's like the title of the lesson. So with that, I'm going to say, Call Halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Merkah HaKodash. For giving me a spirit to do this lesson, the willing was edifying unto the Akim out there. That I'm going to say shalom on to the next.